I owe Barrett. He saved my life in Vietnam.
I understand your loyalty, Mr. Granville, and I admire that. But my son's future is at stake here.
He's Barrett's son, too. Now, you're going to be doing him a great favor. He may not appreciate it right now.
That's just it. He is Barrett's son.
I don't think Barrett's capable of taking care of Stephen. He needs psychiatric help. And in the long run, he may damage Steve emotionally.
It would be a tragedy if Steve continued to think that his own mother didn't love him and wanted to abandon him.
All I'm asking is a chance to see Steve and talk to him so I can explain to him what's happened.
And after that?
If Stephen chooses to stay with Barrett after that, then I'll just have to deal with it.
I don't think he will choose to stay with Barrett once he knows the truth.
I understand that they're staying out at your brother's house on your ranch?
Yes, that's true.
May we go out there? And could you find some way for us to talk to Steve without Barrett being around?
I'd really like to help.
Mr. Granville, Stephen wrote this letter to his grandmother.
Dear Grandma, Dad and I are fine. I miss you and Buddy and Rena. Most of all, I miss Mom. She doesn't want me to live with her anymore, but I want you to tell her that I love her. I'll write again soon.
I hope that proves we're telling the truth.
There's a lot of pain and confusion in this letter.
Yes, there is.
I need to reassure him, Mr. Granville.
Yes. You do. Let's go talk to Steve.
Thank you.
Where is Mr. Granville meeting this Mr. Connor?
At the coffee shop on Main Street.
Well, could you drive me into the coffee shop?
Well, I don't think this is the Mr. Connor you know, honey.
Suppose it is, though.
Well, that would be quite a coincidence, wouldn't it?
Maybe I could borrow one of the horses, ride it in by myself. Would that be all right?
Where do you want to go, Steve?
To the coffee shop in town.
We're going to have supper out here, son.
Well, there's a Mr. Connor there talking to John, and Steve seems to think it might be the man who married his mother.
What are you talking about?
Well, this man called John about selling him some horses. He's from Texas, and his name is Ryan Connor.
Did he say anything about having his wife with him?
No.
We better get back to the house and do something about supper.
Dad.
Now, let's go, son. Let's go.
So Steve was right.
Right about what?
Well, I told him about John meeting Mr. Connor at the coffee shop. He seemed positive that it was the same Ryan Connor who married his mother.
So Steve and Barrett aren't in the house.
I don't know where they are.
Did Barrett know that I was going to meet John?
Well, yes, but he seemed sure that you weren't the same Ryan Connor.
Mrs. Granville, I got your message that the furnace was acting up again.
Oh, yes, it is.
Smokey, did you see Barrett Marshall in the last hour or so?
Well, sure, I drove him and his kid into town.
Where?
The motel, over on Mountain Road. Stevie talked the whole time about meeting somebody he knew from Texas.
Why do we have to leave the motel so fast and come to the bus station?
I wish you'd stop asking so many questions.
I thought you said we were going to meet Ryan at the motel.
He checked out.
How do you know that?
I just know it.
But you didn't even talk to the man at the desk.
I said he checked out, and that should be good enough for you.
Yes, sir. Where are we going? Back to the ranch?
I don't know yet.
Dad.
Just sit there and be quiet. Have to think things through.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Hi.
Cora. How is everything?
Oh, fine. I'm sorry I had to leave you last night.
Oh, that's okay. How's your sister?
Oh, she had a girl, 7 pounds.
That's wonderful.
Is John phoning about Barrett and Steve?
He's on the phone with the car rental people, isn't he, honey? Thank you.
Yeah, we called them last night, but they were all closed.
And the motels?
We called everyone in the area last night, and Barrett and Steve aren't registered with any of them.
They just disappeared. We may never find them.
Yes, we will, honey.
We should have come over here right after we talked to that waitress yesterday about Barrett working out here.
Maybe, Jenny, but I thought it was more important to talk to Mr. Granville first.
Well, we should have followed my instincts. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. I don't mean to blame you.
I understand. You're just tired and scared, aren't you?
Well, that's the last of the car rental agencies. No one's seen them.
So now what? They didn't rent a car. They're not registered at any of the motels. Do you have any idea where they might be, John?
Well, unless they hitched a ride out of town, they're still here. The only other way out of town is the bus station.
Will you please tell me what's going on?
We're leaving town.
You mean we're going back to the ranch in Texas?
No.
Dad, I want to go home.
No.
If you want to go somewhere else, that's fine. But I want to go home.
You're going with me, Steve.
Barrett and Steve are at the bus station. I just talked to the ticket agent.
Are they sure that it's Barrett and Steve?
Well, the man and boy there fit the description I gave him.
How long have they been there?
He came in this morning about 8 o'clock, as soon as he opened up,
Did Barrett buy a ticket yet?
to Seattle.
He knows we're following him, Ryan. He's probably not even at the bus station. It's another trick. It's probably at the airport.
Look, I could call my friend Jim out at the airport and have him keep a lookout in case they show up there.
Well, will Harold keep an eye on them while they're at the station?
Yeah. He said he would.
Did they say anything about Steve, how he was?
Well, he didn't say anything either way, so I assume he's okay.
Oh, he has to be all right. Barrett wouldn't do anything to harm him.
Barrett will figure out that Steve wrote a letter to Kate, if he hasn't figured it out already. And then he'll be so angry with Steve, and
look,
then he...
let's get into town before we lose them again, okay? Come on.
I'll call the airport and talk to Jim Mooney.
All right.